đôi giày. Hello anh Cường. Ui giời, em quý vừa mới lên 2k đã đôi giày rồi. Sao anh Cường ơi? Sao anh đôi giày gì đấy? Em quý vừa lên 2 luôn. Hello anh Cường nhá. Hello. Anh Phỉ không lên VL sảnh thứ nhất thử theo. Sao anh Cường ơi? Tí gạt lên xem thử. Anh có một việc nhớ em. Sao anh Cường ơi? Nhớ em cứu đi. Sao đấy? Gì đấy? Có việc gì đấy em ơi? Tiêu hộ anh 5 lít được không? Tiêu hộ à? Tiêu hộ không được anh Cường ạ. Anh cần chiếu kiếm về thôi, làm sao mà tiêu được? Phải kiếm về anh Cường ơi. Sao mà lại bảo em cũng tiêu hộ? 5 lốp à? 5 lốp thế thôi. Anh Cường ơi, bucket hôm nay của anh em mình là có 5 lốp đúng không? Anh Cường vào tiền với em. Anh Cường vào tiền với em. Bao giờ lên 2 triệu mình sẽ úp. Được chưa? Mình chưa bucket ra, được không? Nhá. Lên 2 triệu mình sẽ úp. Tận 30 phút nữa bắn rồi em ơi. Lên toàn bô thì trả không bô. Hôm nay là chuẩn này anh em này, hôm nay là chuẩn này, hôm nay là tuần thi đấu 3 bọn EMEA này. Trận FUT và Heretic mạnh dạn đi cho anh em quả over. Mạnh dạn đi anh em quả over 21. Nó là rõ anh em ạ. Nói thế thôi. Em thử nói thế thôi chứ thế nào anh em nhé. Còn trận em coi về APK thì khả năng cao là APK thua 0-2. Khả năng cao. Chuẩn luôn anh Cường ơi, chuẩn luôn. Anh em mình cứ ngồi lưu tiêu siêu 30 phút đi anh em ơi. Em Tú đi cơm cháo tí anh em ơi. Lên 2 tia nhá, đơn giản em ơi. Đâu mọi người sẽ tối nay set này đang bắn dash đúng không anh em nhỉ? Có một tí nào đi hay có trận nào đi. Anh chèn này lên set 2 à? Xong tầm anh chèn cấp kèo anh chỉ. Anh chèn cấp kèo anh chỉ được à? Báo kèo set 2 nào đi.
Luôn với đứa miền Tây á này.
Con ngồi anh Long L bắn nào. Anh Long L like. Anh Long L like theo. Rồi em sẽ gặp một chàng thanh. Wow, chiếu anh Nghĩa ơi. Em nói to lên. Đây để em bật độ nhạy mic nó lên nha anh em nhá. Alo. Có bị tiếng gió quạt không em nhỉ? Hình như là do em để cái tiếng game to quá anh em ạ. Sorry anh em. Đây, mic như anh vừa cho anh em. Anh Long like kênh nào? Anh Long like của nhà phở PC luôn anh ơi. Anh Long là like phở PC luôn, trực tiếp LPL. Nhưng mà anh bên nhà anh Hải Minh thì có anh lên một like mà anh em ơi. Em bật mắc lên đây. Mắc rồi anh Cường ơi. Alo ạ, em nghe được không anh em? Mắc mic rồi anh em. Rồi em sẽ gặp một thằng một chàng trai khác. Không tìm thấy like. Bây giờ thì hết rồi anh Nghĩa ơi. Like 3 giờ chiều mà bây giờ 9 giờ đêm rồi. Mình đã vlog quá nghỉ lại không nghe được quá buồn. Anh Cường ạ. Anh dạo này anh Cường có thấy là có ai biến mất không anh Cường? Đấy, mấy nữa nếu như mà nghỉ valorant thì em sẽ như thế đấy anh Cường ạ. Đấy, nói thế thôi anh Cường nhá, bí mật anh Cường nhá. Bí mật ít anh em biết với nhau thôi. Chỉ là khả năng cao anh em nhé. Khả năng cao nghĩa là sẽ vẫn có cái tỷ lệ là không phải. Bạn Đức Cớp thì bạn nghỉ lâu rồi anh nghĩ bạn Đức Cớp bạn nghỉ lâu rồi. Đợt này nó không có liên quân anh em ạ, đợt này không liên quân, nếu mà có liên quân khả năng cao em Tú cũng sang liên quân. Chờ nó anh Cường thôi. Khả năng cao nhá, khả năng cao nhưng mà em không muốn điều đấy xảy ra. Bởi vì em rất muốn làm Valorant anh em ạ. Chỉ là khả năng cao thôi, chưa biết được thế nào cả anh em nhé. Rồi em sẽ gặp một chàng trai khác, biết cách yêu vật. Nào, qua Discord, không biết là có anh em nào ngồi Discord không anh em nhỉ? Chết, phải kéo sang cái màn bên này chứ. Biết cách yêu vật cho trẻ một con gái có qua nhiều tổn thương. 10 anh em đang online luôn, vâng là. Anh Cường vào Discord. Đang có cái Discord của nhà nghiện Văn Minh anh em ạ. Rồi em tải cái Discord về cái vào ngó xem, nãy thấy có mấy anh em vào. Mày có lên được kèo LOL không đấy? Thì thế mới phải học anh Cường ơi, thế mới phải học chứ. Em Tú đang chất chiêu từng ngày một để học LOL đây. Ngày nào em Tú cũng làm ít nhất là 2 trận LOL và xem này của anh đâu đấy là 5-6 tiếng. Đợt này đang được nghỉ hè cũng đang chăm chỉ học LOL anh em ạ. Em làm liên quân đợt này nó không có giải anh Cường ơi. Hình như là đến tận mùa xuân, đến tận cái gì nhỉ? Tầm tháng 1 là bắt đầu có giải chứ. Nó nhặng lên anh thoát hết rồi. Nó nhặng lên. Cái code mà anh em ơi, anh em nào tích nói gì nói thôi. Là vì money line tổng được không? Chớ che người con gái có qua nhiều tổn thương. Em biết. Là vì tổng. Em bình luận liên quân vừa hay kèo lại cũng ok anh ạ, cũng ok. Em xin anh Cường cho em Tú tầm 15 phút em Tú cơm cháo cái anh Cường nhá. Tranh thủ cơm tí nhưng mà 10 giờ mới vào bắn cơ. Em Tú xin phép 15 phút cơm cháo cái. Set 2 không thấy anh em xe bên đấy hả em? Set 2 có mà, set 2 hôm qua em lên 3 mã set 2 về 2 mà. Hôm qua về con mã 2.5 favor. Set 2 có anh ạ, có. Anh Goku bên này like thì anh Lemon thì anh Huy chè, thì anh Huy chè sẽ lấy kèo anh Goku bet sang bên kia cho anh em luôn. Anh khỉ mà soi set 2 thì anh em yên tâm anh em ơi. Là vì team Liquid. Là vì ôi chết mẹ rồi. Anh Huy game 2 anh Huy tự lên rồi anh em ơi. Chết mẹ ở game 2 anh Huy tự lên rồi. Là vì trừ à? Ăn đây ok anh Cường ơi, khả năng cao là xin anh em tí ngồi ăn uống cái nhưng mà anh thích uống trà không? Cũng thích anh Nghĩa ơi. Cũng thích ạ. À vì là tin anh khỉ được. Nha. Trà bỏ tay. Nào. Thôi nhá, thôi anh em ơi. Thôi, không có trà bỏ tay gì cả. Thôi em Tú tranh thủ cơm cháo tí anh em nhá. Anh em chờ em Tú tí ạ. Rồi ơi, trà bỏ tay rồi ơi. Anh theo mã Huy lên rồi. Đúng rồi, em Tú dịch lại được rồi. Ai mà chịu luôn anh em ơi, chịu luôn đấy. Em Tú xin 15 phút anh em ơi.
Got a feeling I can't shake, but I'ma try to shake it anyway. I got a move that I can't break, but I'ma break that thing anyway. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, we're gonna move our feet. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat. Whoa, you know I got to wake up and dance. You know I got to get up and dance. When I'm in the backyard, dance. When I'm in the graveyard, we dance. When I go back to sleep, I dance. In the realm of dreams. ceiling, feeling great. Don't tell your mama we shaking, babe. Break the rules and do your thing. Bring your shoes, yeah, bring your date. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, we're gonna move our feet. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, yeah. You know I got to wake up and dance. You know I got to get up and dance. When I'm in the backyard, dance, dance. When I'm in the graveyard, we dance. When I go back to sleep, I dance. In the realm of dreams, I dance. When I'm in the boneyard, dance, dance. When I'm caught off guard, I dance. I know you're stressing, right? You need some meditation. Don't let them ruin your vibe. No time for rumination. Let's leave it all behind. Think of flight aviation. Want you, girl, by my side. Let me show my appreciation. I want you here with me. I'll miss your body, baby. No, I cannot believe that you're still single, lady. Wishing I could retreat. I want you here with me. Be my lover, be my, be my, be my, be my trophy, be my, be my, be my, be my woman, be my lover, be my trophy, be my, be my, be my, be my, the only one I want. Be my preliminary. Let me caress the way I think it's necessary. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, babe. 7 days, are you ready? I don't need to say you know it. Girl, you're extraordinary. I want you here with me. I miss your body, baby. No, I cannot believe that you're still single, lady. Wishing I could retreat. I want you here with me. Be my lover, be my, be my, be my, be my trophy, be my, be my, be my, be my woman, be my lover, be my trophy, be my, be my, be my, be my.
Yeah. Let me get a punch. Let me get a punch. Let you feel the punch. Let me get a punch. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hoop, don't sleep, don't punch me. Don't keep getting me pissed before I make you bleed. Pray for your rest in peace. It's the only piece that you need, even a punch. This is the purge. Everybody please your perk. Your perk, I'ma kick these people with my kitty pound. Play with the wrong gal pound. Put when they put get my pop on out. Pop on now, yeah, I'm a kite being my pow, 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 pow. Tag it out, back it out, cause I'm a pop love, yo, how about now, bruh? จบบ้านนี้ไม่ต้องรอถึงหูพวกกูจัดมึงจุกดังอ้าว Be the pepper, pick a pack of peppers. People like me pick a pack of bricks for a week per day per minute. Rapper like me ทำพวกมึง panic บอกกูเป็นผู้หญิงมีผล the proof ไม่ควรได้ pride เข้าใจมึง lose อะไรไม่รู้พร้อมพวกขี้แพ้มาพานกูพูดไปก็ไรพอยเขาต่อยสักชูดีกว่าว่าพวก What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hoop, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hoop, don't sleep, don't punch me. proof in one punch. All battles are beat in one punch. Put you to sleep with this one punch. ไม่สะเทือนกูสักนิดกูขอสกิด one punch. ชีวิตที่กูโดนกูโดนมามากกว่า one punch. วันนั้นที่กูเจอกูสักกับคนมา one punch. One day, one life, one dream, one punch. If you have one shot, better have one punch. Eminem said, Millie Rabbit, I'm the road shark. You just catfish. Kevin said, พ่อแม่คือความจริง Summer and phone ที่คือ passion ผลลัพธ์คือ I'm the best, right? What a hook, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hook, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh. What a hook, don't sleep, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. What a hook, don't sleep, oh you push me.
You keep me up all night, all night. Giving me the feeling. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up, you oh my God. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up, you giving me the feeling. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up, you oh my God. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up. Oh my God. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up, you oh my God. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up, you giving me the feeling. You keep me up all night, all night. You keep me up, you oh my God. You keep me up all night, all night, all night. Oh my God. Oh, you love the fame, you were not the same, girl, when I was with you.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm out here in the cold night, running till I barely feel my feet. Wanna see it through my own eyes. There's no going back, and I'm not afraid anymore. 'Cause I know I'm gonna be the last one standing. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Yeah, I don't wanna wait anymore. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'm carrying you Too bad you can't take me down. You can't take me down. I'm ready to fall. I'm ready to rise up. I will do what it takes. I'll run blind straight into the flames. Watch me burn, alone in the shadows. I'll carry you home on my back. If it's you or me, then I'll take the shot. Still they say I'm a villain. I scream and nobody listens. Still they say I'm a villain. Too bad you can't take me down.
Welcome to VCT EMEA as we see some beautiful scenic shots of Berlin. It never looks that nice, but it is a lovely city, I promise you. And if you're wondering whose voice is this, that's not Yinsu. Worry not, Sue stands. She's here beside me in her analyst desk debut. So if you weren't already a fan of her hard-hitting opinions, you'll get even more because she doesn't have to be nice anymore. You know, when you interview a player, you got to be nice. Billy also joining to witness what could be a fantastic debut, but no, I mean, no pressure. Yinsu, are you ready for the spotlight?
Am I usually nice, you reckon? Yeah?
No, I think you have your moments where you're like really hard on people. Like, I think you're,
If I misrepresented.
No, Billy's here to keep me humbled. Keep me grounded and keep me humbled.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Billy's actually just going to say wrong every time you say something she disagrees
No, I'm going
with.
to say I completely agree. You're so right. You're so right to everything and just not analyze for today.
Too much power. There's too
I
much
mean-
power in my hands.
Yeah, okay, respect.
Thank
It makes sense that you're in the center. We're
Yeah.
just the world is orbiting around you right now, Yinsu. And I think
As they should.
As it should. Well, some people that probably wish the world orbited around them are the teams at the bottom of the standings because the pressure just continues to build here in Group Alpha and Group Omega. A lot of teams fighting for their life in this week. Who are you guys the most excited to see?
I'm most excited to see the darkest timeline, which I won't get into, but there is a possibility that this league does not end next week.
Which is crazy, and I think Apex are the one, right, that you're kind of referring to there with the darkest timeline. There's still a chance that Apex can make playoffs, which is kind of insane to me. So yeah, that group in particular is kind of all over the place. I'm looking forward to seeing how this week's kind of decides how next week goes.
And we'll see, again, if you're uncertain as to what is happening here, they're referring to a very niche, very specific circumstance where we have a massive tie at the bottom of Apex's group. But for now, we're going to keep it simple. If we get there, we'll talk about it. This week in general, though, is the week where the fates of many of our teams will be decided. So let's buckle up and find out what's at stake in today's matchup. If you are a Foot fan, things are really simple. Win against Heretics and lock playoffs, lose, and you still have a lifeline against BBL next week, although you probably don't want it to get there. Heretics, of course, are already locked for playoffs, but a win here helps keep Los Niños on track for the #1 seed in Group Alpha. The stakes are even higher in Group Omega, where Apex must win to keep their playoff dreams alive. That's right, must win if they want to avoid relegation to Tier 2. By winning, Apex do also do a solid for KC. They'll lock them in for playoffs as well. And then, of course, on the other hand, a loss today doesn't quite eliminate Koi, but they would need a miracle and some of those gnarly darkest timeline tiebreakers. Their cleanest path to playoffs still relies on them winning out, and Na'Vi, of course, have to lose to KC tomorrow. So if that's a lot of information, we'll keep going over it. Worry not. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of things to go through. Other than the darkest timeline, any specific bottom table team that you're like, I want to see them make the run. I want to see them do the impossible?
Apex. Obviously Apex. We don't want to see them have to go back to tier 2, but not only that, the only way for them to even get a shot at Ascension and being able to play in tier 2 next year, being able to come back to the league, next year, is by making it to playoffs. So for them, it's do or die.
Yeah, for me, it's Gentlemates, because it doesn't sit well with me that other regions make fun of us. You know, it's always us making fun of them. Gentlemates, get it together. They can I just want them to win a match. Just win one match. I don't even care about the permutations, just win something.
I think most people would be happy with one round, as long as it's after the previous 12 rounds having been won. It's a little bit dire, but luckily we don't have to talk about Gentlemates today. We will have plenty of opportunities to roast them or celebrate them in the days to come. But the Turkish Derby is something hot on our minds. Even though it's not happening this week, it will be next week. We did want to start a discussion about who the best Turkish players actually are. Today, Yinsu, who do you think is, who is number one? Who is the best Turkish player?
I don't think there is a debate. The best Turkish player is definitively Alpha. However, Alpha doesn't play today, and people are going to harp on me for talking about Fnatic, you know, Fnatic this, Fnatic that, but let's be honest, it's Alpha. However, I think there is a player who can maybe challenge Alpha's position as the best Turkish player. Now, what is better than Leo? A Turkish Leo. And of course, that is Rienz. I think a lot of other players in the league also look to him as the best in his role right now. He is so good that when he's on a team of Miniboos or Woods, his teammates are still dropping him a weapon on pistol round so he could buy shock darts. And he's winning rounds with that strategy. And I absolutely love the fact, the respect other opponents show him as well. Maybe sometimes too much respect. But Rienz, in terms of consistency, firepower, and just the read on the game, for me, you know, it's close to Alpha. It's close.
I like that you opted for a Team Heretics player, because I also went down the same path. I'm going to go for Woot, of course. I mean, Woot has just been so consistent for Team Heretics as well. Like you say, we mentioned this consistency. But I think we need to look at the kind of agents that Woot has played this year. He's played 10 different agents, over 10 different agents. Remember back in Kickoff, he was playing Astra. I think he just has so much flexibility in his agent pool. And now he's being able to shine on that secondary duelist for Team Heretics as well, which I think is really nice. In general, though, the reason like why we're having this discussion, I think, is the fact that 5 Turkish players from very different teams all finished in the top 5 of ACS last week as well. So like we have a lot of talented Turkish players, but Woot would be my pick personally.
I actually think that's a great pick. And what I love is when we asked Woot and Rienz about this, Rienz said Woot, and Woot also said Woot. So I think maybe he is the best right now. But I think both of them, you know, I think we made a good case for both of them.
Look, but have you considered Ruxic? That's my question. All right, I got numbers. You have? What are you talking about?
No.
What are we talking about? Who's the OG? Who's the king of Turkish players? Charles Neddington, right? And who is beating his ass in numbers right now? It is Ruxic. It is so crystal clear to me. This guy, number 5 in ACS. Everyone above him on that chart, while there are some Turkish names, those guys are duelists, or at least part-time duelists. They're not out here playing smoke. They're doing work with flashes. Anybody can do this. I don't know. I feel like this guy has been undersold. Number 3 in KD as well. Only Kiko and Avez are ahead of him. And then this is like, I don't know. I don't think there's enough respect being put here. I think you're distracted.
You're right. I think you're right. I think if this was the most underrated Turkish player, 100% I'm with you.
This is a sleeper pick, in my opinion.
I agree.
You guys are so supportive. I appreciate you.
But you're wrong. But
you're wrong. But like,
if the whole segment was different,
if we change the goalpost, I get points. Okay, well that's not really what I wanted, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
But is it just Alpha number 1? Are we all so sold? Isn't it just that last tournament? Isn't it just Toronto where we all started to believe
this?
Yeah,
Toronto and Istanbul and
but we're in Berlin.
Tokyo,
but we're in
every single tournament ever.
I see your point. Me being a noob is showing a little bit here in terms of the greater context. But you brought up Charles Neddington, so is Foot someone we should still be hyped for? Like, are we so excited for like the OG Turkish squad? Like, this is the team, or is it all just you know, Heretics, Fnatic? What are we looking at?
I don't like the tone of this question, because I know some of you might be thinking, Foot, they're washed. Foot, they're not good anymore. What are they gonna do this stage? Now, all of you are ignoring the law of Foot, which is they always make champs. And let me break this down for you, for those of you that aren't familiar with the law of Foot. I assume you guys are familiar with Sir Isaac Newton, you know, the guy that came up with the law of Foot, you know? Very famously known for the law of Foot.
News to me.
Now, according to Newton's first law, an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Now, since Foot has entered partnership, no external force, zero. Its external forces, whether Na'Vi, whether Fnatic, whether Liquid, or even Heretics, has ever stopped Foot's trajectory to champions. In 2023, they had no business making champs. That roster was 3 players that have only ever played against 2 Tier 1 teams, which was G2 and Guild, and got absolutely destroyed by them. They had a rookie IGL, yes, a Turkish IGL from a region where, let's be honest, they don't have many good IGLs, and a random smokes player from Thunderbolts Gaming. Have you guys ever heard? Do you know who the other 4 players that played on Thunderbolts Gaming was besides Atta Captain?
Can't say I do. No.
Exactly. And despite of all of that, with the odds stacked against them, they still made champions. Now, furthermore, I have more in this book. It's a very large book. If we turn to the newest clause, of course, under Article 1, Clause 3, the post-LCQ, the abolition of LCQ clause, where we introduce champs points. Now, the only reason the champs points exist is to make sure that Foot gets to champs. We sent 1 team from EMEA to champs on points last year in 2024. Who was that? Who?
What?
Exactly. They made champs again. And that is right. Foot, they always make champs no matter what. And here is the thing about the law of Foot. It is not a theory. It is not a miracle. It is not even a choice. It doesn't care about your predictions or your expectations. It doesn't even care about your beliefs, because no matter what happens, say it with me, Foot will make champs.
Champions. At champions.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so this is the question that I have, because that's really compelling. I love that the foundational principles of our universe demand that Foot appear at champions.
Yes.
That's cool. They are playing against Heretics today, and if you look behind you...
Yeah, have we seen this, Yunsu?
Yeah, but that's the point of the law of Foot. It doesn't matter. They're still going to go. It literally does not matter.
But are they going to beat Heretics today?
Even if they don't beat Heretics, they can still go, she says. Am I right?
But like,
I don't think I'm right. Oh, no, I am right. I've been confirmed. The law of Foot. They don't need to beat Heretics. They can still go.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at them. This is a champions walk.
All right, okay.
They're ready to walk to Paris.
On the one hand, Billy, we have primordial force of the universe. You know, before chaos, there was the law of Foot, I guess. And then on the opposite side, we have Team Heretics. And Team Heretics, right, should be the favorites here. But I think we judge them by a different standard than we do a lot of teams in VCT, which is we want them to be not dominant in EMEA. We want them to be dominant on the world stage. So what do we need to see in this matchup? What do we need to see from Heretics to get evidence to support that as they do? It's not inevitable that they make a champs, but it's feeling pretty inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Team Heretics, we do have that expectation of them, right? We expect them to go to global events, so we expect them to be able to shine regionally. So that's why we hold them to this higher standards, because they do compete at that global level. I think for them today, if they get a win today, they're of course closer to locking that playoffs #1 seed, which is what they'll be really, really rooting for. I think to say that they're not part of the big 3 would be wrong. I think that we definitely do put them up there. But again, like I say, we have this higher expectation of them. We've just not seen them looking flawless recently because they lost a map against Gentlemates. They lost a map against BBL. Like, they're not having a flawless run within their own region. And they need to kind of fix that before we do get to the global points.
Yeah, for me, they're the big 2, you know. Oh, sorry, I had to. They are part of the big 2, mostly the 2 part. But Mini Boo, I think, has been under a lot of scrutiny. I think every time he makes a Mini Boo Boo, like we saw last week, my heart is like, oh, socials, you know, chill for a day, take a day off. But what I want to highlight is, yes, this was a mishap. Yes, this was a mini boo-boo. But what people didn't see is that every single time that Kovac went to ult mini boo, he unleashed the clone. 3 times out of 3, Kovac literally ulted the Yoru clone. And I haven't seen tech and consistency and just resilience as well, as you can see here on your screen, from another Yoru player in the league ever, maybe. I think Durka had that 1 clone, but imagine if Durka did that clone play 3 times on 1 map. And for me, that's a very good sign that he could have a mini boo-boo and still be mentally strong and still be able to carry his team. And that is all we want from Heretics. Good mental.
Yinsu, then let's keep it on you, because I want to talk predictions now. Because it sounds like Team Heretics are the favorites here, but like, you have... So this is what I'm trying to understand. This is kind of the duality of man here for me, Yinsu, because on the one hand, you have, again, this seemingly all-critical scientific or pseudoscientific book beside you.
Yeah.
But who are you predicting?
According to this book, it says that I'm not in a right sound of mind from a overdose of copium. However, I will predict foot because after all that, I don't think I can. I don't
You
think
did, you did shout a lot about foot to not predict them.
I think if the map vetoes will. I need to see the maps, and
Sure.
once I see the maps, I'll be more confident. But right now, honestly, Heretics is a different beast. It's going to be hard to beat them. But if it's any time that the lore of foot is going to come into play and give us something illogical, probably now.
Yeah, I
On today.